Shalom Aleichem, sweetest friends! This shir should be a special schus, the Refuas Shalom ben Gila and Rafal Moshe Chaim ben Yafa Shena Chamka, Shoshana bas Tziporet Cyril. They should all have a Refuah Shleim v'Sach Shachol Yisrael, and Nesia Tamar bas Elishevet Tova. She should have Brius Hashlema. Noam ben Leah. She should have Brius Hashalema. We're going to be learning B'siyata D'Shmaya, continuing our series of Shiurim in the Rambam Hilchos Melachim. And this year, Be'ezrat Hashem, we're going to be learning Parak Yud, Halachos Vav, and Zayin in Hilchos Melachim. The Rambam writes, HaMilah she'nitztava ba'avram v'zaru bilvad, she'ne'amar ata v'zar'acha acharecha. Milah was commanded to Avram and his seed alone, as it says, you and your seed after you. Yatza zara shel Yishmael. This excludes the seed of Yishmael. Shenamar, as it says in the pasuk, ki v'yitzchak yikari lecha zara. That Yitzchak is going to be your seed. So when it says v'zar'acha acharecha, when it says your seed, who's your seed? Your seed is Yitzchak. Ki v'yitzchak yikari lecha zara. Yitzchak is your seed. And that also excludes Esav, because Yitzchak said to Yaakov, Vayitein lecha, es birchas Avram, lecha lezaracha acharecha. And he was given the bracha of Avram to you and your seed. He will give you the bracha of Avram to you and your seed after you. Chlal, implying shehu levado zara shel Avram, that Yaakov alone is the seed of Avram. Hamachazik b'daso, he's holding on to his religion. Uvedarko hayishar, in his straight path. Veheim hamechuyavim b'milah, and they are mechuyav in Milah. So who is the seed, the true seed of Avraham? Yitzchak and Yaakov, and they are obligated in Milah. Halacha ches, Amru Chachamim, Bnei Keturah shem zaro shel Avram, the sons of Keturah, who are the seed of Avram. Avram took Keturah as a wife. Sheba acharei Yishmael, that came after Yishmael. Yitzchak and Yitzchak chayavim b'milah, are chayav in Milah. Ho'il v'nisarvu ayom b'nei Yishmael u'b'nei Keturah, yischayvu akol b'milah b'shmini. Since the Bnei Yishmael and the Bnei Keturah got mixed up, today we don't know who's who. Everybody is chayav in Milah on the 8th day. Ve'ein ha'ragin aleha, but there is no capital punishment. So this is all based on the Sugya and Sanhedrin and Tesam Beis, where the Gemara says that any din, any mitzvah that was said to Bnei Noach and repeated at Har Sinai applies to Bnei Noach as well as the Jews. But any mitzvah which was said only to Bnei Noach and not said at Sinai applies only to the Jews and not to Bnei Noach. So it was said both to Bnei Noach and Sinai, it's to Bnei Noach as well. And if it was said Bnei Noach and not Sinai, it applies only to the Jews. So frak the Gemara about Milah. Milah was said to Bnei Noach, and it was also repeated at Har Sinai. So why then do we say that it was only said to Yisrael and not to Bnei Noach? If it's said to Bnei Noach and repeated at Sinai, it should apply to Bnei Noach as well, so why doesn't it apply to Bnei Noach? So look there in the Gemara. The Gemara says that it wasn't repeated at Sinai. It's not considered that it was repeated at Sinai, because that it says in Parashas Tazria, B'yom hashmini mol b'sar olah, so that's just coming to be Mati or Shabbos. That's coming to give a heter for Shabbos, that you're allowed to do the Bris Milah on Shabbos. But it's not considered as repeating the mitzvah of Bris Milah, which is there to teach you that detail of Milah b'Shabbos. So according to the first teretz, it was said to Bnei Noach, but it wasn't repeated at Sinai. Ibayis Eima, the Gemara Zok Nochat teretz, that Milah Meikara, Milah originally was only given to Abraham, because it says Va'ata es brisi tishmor. It says that you should guard my covenant. You and your seed after you for the generations. You and your seed, yes, Zok the Gemara. But in a Shacharini Andra mention other people, lo, it's only you and your seed. but not other people. Elameata, so if this is true, says the Gemara, that it was only given to Avram and his seed. So therefore it's not considered that it was given to Bnei Noach, that you should ask. That if it's given to Bnei Noach and at Sinai, therefore Bnei Noach should be chayav, because this wasn't given to Bnei Noach b'chlal. It wasn't given to Bnei Noach, it was only given to Avram and his seed. Fact the Gemara Elameata, Bnei Yishmael lechayvu. Why aren't we mechayiv Bnei Yishmael? They're also the seed of Abraham. And for the Gemara, you know why? Because it says, Ki b'Yitzchak yikar l'chazara. Only Yitzchak is his seed. For the Gemara, what about Bnei? So it's only Yitzchak and not Yishmael. And the Gemara asks about Bnei Esav, and then it says, no, be Yitzchak. Not all of Yitzchak, that excludes Bnei Esav. So it's only Avram through Yitzchak, through Yaakov, only they're going to be chayav. Now, frek the Gemara maskifla Rabbi Shaya. Rabbi Shaya demurs. Rabbi Shaya asks kasha. Elameata b'nei Keturah lechalo lechayvu. Why should Bnei, according to what you're saying, according to this second teretz, according to the Lishna Basra, that it was only given to Avram and his seed and nobody else. So, if it's nobody else, meaning that it only goes through Yitzchak and Yaakov, then Bnei Keturah should not be chayiv. So why are Bnei Keturah chayiv? Answers the Gemara, because Rabbi Yossi Bar Chanina says that the pasuk says as Brisi Heifar the rabbis Bnei Keturah. So as Brisi Heifar comes to include Bnei Keturah, that they're taka chayiv and bris Milah. So kumtois from the Gemara that we have two deis in the Gemara. If Milah was originally said to all Bnei Noach, but it was not repeated at Sinai, and since it wasn't repeated at Sinai, it was only given to the Jewish people, and according to the first teretz, Bnei Keturah are not included in the Chiyuv. According to the first teretz, we didn't say anything about Bnei Keturah. We just said that it was said to Bnei Noach. It wasn't said at Sinai. That means it's only given to the Jews. No Bnei Keturah. And according to the second teretz, according to the zweite teretz, Rak lezera Avram ne'emar, it was only said to the seed of Avram. And the seed of Avram, the Gemara includes Bnei Keturah, from his Brisi Heifar l'Rabbis Bnei Keturah. And the Rambam Shraip bepashtus, Kalishna Basre, the Rambam wrote bepashtus like the latter Lashon, because the Rambam was Mechayiv Bnei Keturah. Being Mechayiv Bnei Keturah means that the Rambam goes the Lashon Lishna Basra. And we also have an Halacha Zayin. In Halacha Zayin, the Rambam says that the Milah was only given to Avraham and his seed. And who is his seed? Yitzchak, not Yishmael. Yaakov, not Esav. And that's also like Lishna Basra, that it was only given to Avram and his seed. So we see that the Rambam paskins like the Lishna Basra, both from Halacha Zayin, where it says Avram v'Zara, and in Halacha Ches, where he's Mechayiv Bnei Keturah. Umedar wissen, we have to know. Minayin lo the Rambam b'pshitus. How does the Rambam know so simply that that's the halacha? The Gemara never paskin the halacha. So how does the Rambam know? Hagoyin Rav Meir Don Plotsky Zechet Tzadik Kodesh Levracha Nechemdes Israel was oimer on this kasha ein sham. And also we have the Shagas Aryeh, famous tshuva in Siman Mem Tes. We had a shir, at least on the first few paragraphs of that tshuva. And the Rashash and the Rambam here, and the Chemdes Yisrael that we mentioned, that also the Lishna Kama must hold that it was only given to Zera Avram, even though the Zera Avram element was only accentuated by the Lishna Basra, that Milah may Karl Avram whom the Mokamasir Lerachumana Batas Brisi Tishmar, that Atav Zaracha Chorechel Deraisam, that it was only given to Avram and his Zera. That's the Lishna Basra. But Baal Korchainu, the Lishna Kama, they also hold like that it was only given to Zera Avram, because we have an open pasuk, Atav Zarecha Charecha. It's only for you and your seed, and that would exclude Shar Bnei Noach. Milah, the Rambam Paskins in Halacha Zayin, L'Kulei Alma, Halacha Zayin, where he says it's only for the seed of Avraham. That is even according to the Lishna Kama, because the Lishna Kamas hold that way, because it's often a pasuk, Lo Matchilim Pasuk Meforash. So the Halacha Zayin is like everybody. Nevertheless, Linyan Bnei Keturah. It was not repeated. It was only repeated at Sinai. For whom? For the Jewish people. There was no repetition at Sinai. For the Bnei Keturah. So therefore the Lishna Kama doesn't hold of Bnei Keturah. That's Bnei Keturah Chayavim, because it was taught to Avram and it wasn't repeated at Sinai. And it's only to Avram and his Zera. But Bnei Keturah and the Lishna Kama must hold that way. And since it wasn't repeated at Sinai, therefore, it was only said to Bnei Yisrael. And therefore, the Bnei Keturah, according to Lishna Kama, aren't chayiv. So therefore, the question begs, how does the Rambam asks, Agon Agadol Rav David Yitzchak Man, we're basing ourselves on, if I ever don't mention it, then assume it's true in our Hilchos Melachim Shiurim. We're basing ourselves on the Be'er Miriam, which is just about the best sefer written in the last century, and the Rambam. So, just about. I don't want to say the best, because there are many other great ones as well, but it's so Pillei Plos, halfway of a fella, it's mamish shchuras and ivalei miyayin, it's intoxicating. So, how does the Rambam paskin like the Pshitus, like the Lishna Basra? Why did the Rambam not like the Lishna Kama? And Begufa Sugit Sarchiyu, and we have to understand the Sugit itself. Not only the Rambam, Sharei Bal Korcheinu, Gam Lishna Basra, we have to say that even according to the Lishna Basra, anything repeated at Sinai for a certain detail, it's considered that it wasn't repeated if it's coming to teach us something specific. Therefore, it wasn't repeated at Sinai. Like we see in the Lishna Kama, that it's coming Lahatir Shabbos, Lahatir Milah b'Shabbos. So since it's coming to be Matir Milah b'Shabbos, Memela, it's not considered Nishnas b'Sinai. So the Lishna Basra has to hold that way as well. Otherwise, they're going to have the kasha that the Gemara had. The Gemara asked about period of Arivia. Why aren't Goyim chayiv in period of Arivia? Because it was said to Bnei Noach and it was repeated at Sinai. It was said about Temper Ravu and then it was repeated at Sinai. Shuvu lachem lo aleichem, that the Jews were told to go back to their tents, which means to be with their wives. Amazing, after Har Sinai, God says, go be intimate with your wives, have babies. V'Yisrael ne'emar v'lo livnei Noach. And despite that, asked the Gemara, we know that Puruvu is only on the Jews and not on the Goyim. It was said to Bnei Noach. And it was also said at Sinai, so why shouldn't it apply to the Bnei Noach as well? That was the Gemara's kasha, and the Gemara's teretz was, no, it's taught for a certain reason. Because Kol Dover Sheba Minyan, Tzarech Minyan Acher La'atiro, it's coming to teach you that anything that was subject to a vote, you need another vote to permit it. So first God told them to separate from their wives, and then God has to now tell them to go back to their wives. So we have to learn this detail of of Dover Shemin Soch Min Achelatiro. That's the Gemara's Teretz by Puruvu. And since that's the case, Milah also is not considered Nishnes. Why is Milah not considered Nishnes? Because like the Teretz, the Lishna Kamera says, that it's for Ubiyom Afilu B'Shabbos. It's not coming to tell us if it's a Milah per se, but rather the fact that you're allowed to do it on Shabbos. So if that's the case, that it wasn't repeated at Sinai, why are Bnei Keturah Chayav? It wasn't repeated at Sinai. It's against our rule. How is the Lishna Basra? Right, the pasuk said that the ribui that we have in the pasuk for Bnei Keturah as Brisi Hefar is not what's not said at Sinai. That's from Parshas Lech Lecha. So we don't have a repeat at Sinai. So why are Bnei Keturah Chayav? Ubamai bameh cholek halishna batra halishna kama. How is Lishna Basa arguing with Lishna Kama? They also have to agree in principle that if it was repeated at Sinai for a reason, then it's not considered repeated. And Milah was not repeated because it was repeated for a reason. Meaning not to tell us the halach of Milah. It was repeated to tell us the din of Shabbos. So then how can you be Mechayiv anybody but Jews? So how's the Lishna Basra is Mechayiv Bnei Keturah arguing with the Lishna Kama? Azoyat gefragt the Shagas Aryeh in Siman Memtes. And in the Sefer Chamra V'Chaya in Sanhedrin there, Nuntes. And the Heilig in Etziv in the Hamik Sheila, Kuf Samech Hey Beis. We have to understand even more. In the Kasha of the Gemara, Elamayata, Bnei Yishmael L'chayvu. Why are we Mechayiv? This is in the Lishna Basra. Lishna Basra said that Milah was only given to Avram. And then it says, it was given to Avram and his seed. So if it's given to Avram and his seed, let's talk about the Bnei Yishmael. Let's be frank here and talk about the Bnei Yishmael. Even though Frank isn't usually a Jewish name, but we have to use it here because why aren't the Bnei Yishmael going to be Chayiv? And also, why aren't the Bnei Esav going to be Chayiv? Bnei Yishmael and Bnei Esav should both be, they're both Zera Avram. And it's mashma from the fact that the Gemara gefragt the Kashis. From the fact that the Gemara asked these questions on the Lishna Basra, it's mashma that according to Lishna Kam, according to the first lesson of the Gemara, we have no kasha. This kasha of Me'ata B'nei Yishmael L'chayvu and B'nei Mnesav L'chayvu are not kashas. Why? Because until Sinai, they were mischayev. But al yedei lo nishnes paka b'Sinai, because according to the Lishna Kama, what do we say? That until Sinai, the Bnei Yishmael and the Bnei Esav were taka chayiv, and then because it was lo nishnes, because it wasn't repeated at Sinai, now they are pater. As was explained in the Ber Miriam, Perak Tes Halach Aleph Os Aleph. And if we say that according to the Lishna Basra, it also wasn't Nishnes, it also wasn't repeated at Sinai, like we saw by Pirya Varivya. We saw by Pirya Varivya that if it's for a reason, that if it's repeated for a specific reason to tell us a detail, then it's not considered repeated. And just like Pirya Varivya is repeated to tell us that called over Shmi and Tzarch Min Achelatiro, when you have a vote, you have to vote it again. That's why Hashem had to tell us again. That teaches us about the Beis Din. So too by Milah, that it was repeated at Sinai to tell us, like the Lishna Kama says, tells B'yom Afilu B'Shabbos. So according to Lishna Basra, it's not Nishnes. So then, why is it a kasha on the Lishna Basra that Bnei Yishmael and Bnei Esav should be chayav even after Sinai? Because taka, they were chayav until Sinai. And then it goes away at Sinai. So what's the question? Why are you asking about Bnei Esav and Bnei Yishmael? They were chayiv until Sinai. And then it went away at Sinai because it wasn't repeated at Sinai, to tell us that the din of Milah wasn't repeated for Milah at Sinai, and therefore Bnei Yishmael and Bnei Esav aren't going to be chayiv. So what's the Gemara's kasha? On the Lishna Basra. And also, from where are the Bnei Keturah going to be chayav? It's not Nishnes. So how's the Gemara B'chlal asking that question? From Bnei Yishmael and Bnei Esav. And how are Bnei Keturah, yes, going to be chayav? It wasn't Nishnes at Har Sinai. So we have to say that according to the Lishna Basra, it's not lo Nishnes. We don't consider it lo Nishnes. We consider it that it was Nishnes, it was repeated. Yeah, but then we have a kasha from Peri Verivia. Peri Verivia was repeated, but was repeated for a reason. Not to tell us the din of Peri Verivia per se, but to tell us a different din. Tell us a detail, to tell us davar shebeminyan tzarich minyan achar la'atiro, but not to tell us Peri Verivia. So here also by Bris Milah, it was repeated at Sinai, not to tell us Bris Milah, to tell us afilu b'Shabbos. So if you hold that lo nishnes, and therefore we can ask from Bnei Yishmael and Bnei Esav, if you say that it was not considered lo nishnes, it was considered nishnes that was repeated at Har Sinai. If you say, either way you're stuck. If you say that it was lo nishnes, then we don't have a problem, according to the Lishna Basra, because they were chayav until Sinai, and then it went away at Sinai. So what's the Gemara's kasha? The Gemara is saying that Bnei Yishmael and Bnei Esav should be chayav. What's the Gemara's kasha b'chlal? It was lo nishnes. And also, Bnei Keturah. We said that Bnei Keturah are chayav. But how do you say Bnei Keturah are chayav? It's lo nishnes. It wasn't repeated, so Bnei Keturah shouldn't be chayav. So we have to say that according to the Lishna Basra, it's not lo nishnes. It was repeated at Sinai. But if it was repeated at Sinai, then that's not going to help us. If it was repeated at Sinai, the way I understand the Gemara's kasha, if it was repeated at Sinai, then it should be shaychos to the Bnei of Bnei Yishmael. And we understand why the Bnei Keturah are chayav, because it's repeated at Sinai. So everything is good. Then it's not good, because then we have the kasha from Puruvu again. We have the kasha from Puruvu, that Puruvu was repeated, but since it was repeated, to tell us not the din of Puruvu, but something else, that's not considered repeating it. So Bris Milah also was repeated at Sinai, B'Yom HaShmini, but not for Bris Milah, to tell us, not strictly speaking for the din of Bris Milah, but for a detail of Bris Milah. That's not considered repeating. It was only there to teach us the din of Shabbos. So Taka in the Tais Sarah, she writes that according to Lishna Basra, the Nidon is only until Sinai. That's what the Lishna Basra is discussing. So the Gemara said, the saying that Bnei Yishmael and Bnei Esav should be chayiv until Sinai. But that's not what the Rambam writes. It's not what the Rambam writes, because the Rambam says that after Sinai they're pater. The Rambam's learning that the Gemara is assuming the discussion in the Gemara is about after Sinai. Not before Sinai, after Sinai. And since after Sinai, the Gemara is saying after Sinai, they should be chayiv. And our question is, on the Rambam, after Sinai, they should be chayiv. How do you understand that? And the answer is that we have miyutim in the pasuk. Seder, we have miyutim in the pasuk, but it's lo nishnes. It wasn't repeated at Sinai. And since it wasn't repeated at Sinai, then we have a kasha from Peruvu that according to this lashon, according to the second lashon, it wasn't lo nishnes. It was nishnes. And since it was nishnes, it was repeated at Sinai. According to the Lishna Basra, and therefore that's the Gemara's kasha. The Gemara's kasha is that Bnei Noach and Bnei Yishmael should be chayiv because it was repeated at Sinai. It's not lo nishnes, it is nishnes at Sinai, it was repeated. But what's the Gemara's kasha? Because we have a problem from Piri Varivya. Because by Piri Varivya, it's not considered repeated. So here also it shouldn't be considered repeated. So what's the Gemara's kasha that the Rambam is learning now, like the Tosar Rosh? Tosar Rosh is learning that it's only talking about until Sinai. But according to the way the Rambam is learning, it's learning after Sinai. And after Sinai, Bnei Esav and Bnei Yishmael are pater. So according to that, how do you learn the Gemara? What's shouting the Gemara's kasha? That Bnei Yishmael should be chayiv, and Bnei Esav should be chayiv. When it was repeated at Sinai, it was only repeated to tell you the din of Shabbos. Since it was only repeated to tell you the din of Shabbos, so Bnei Yishmael and Bnei Esav shouldn't be chayiv. So what's the Gemara's kasha? And another kasha, that what's the difference between the two Lishonos? Because according to the Lishna Kama, it's only Zera Avram were chayav. Because according to the Lishna Kama, it says in the pasuk that it's given only. We have an open pasuk, like we said before, that the pasuk says that it's only given Lavram Luzaro. And the Lishna Basra holds that it was given to Avram and to Zaro, and it wasn't repeated. Why wasn't it repeated according to the Lishna Kama? Because the Ubiyom Hashmini is coming to tell you about Shabbos. That's not considered repeating it. And according to the Lishna Basra, it's the same thing. We also have Ubiyom Hashmini that's telling you Shabbos. So if you hold that way, then it's not considered. It's they're not going to be Mechayiv Bnei Noach. It's there for a reason. Because however you learn according to Lishna Basra, you get in trouble. Because if you learn according to Lishna Basra that it was repeated at Sinai, it is considered a repetition. And how's that different than Pir Varivya? Pir Varivya was repeated. When it was repeated at Sinai, it was repeated to tell you a different din, not Pir Varivya, and therefore that's not considered repeating it. It's hard to say it was repeated. And if you say that it wasn't repeated at Sinai, then what's the difference between the Lishna Kama and the Lishna Basra? Both of them hold that it wasn't repeated at Sinai. We also have to understand that if, according to the Rambam, it's considered that it was repeated at Sinai, and for that reason, the Bnei Keturah are chayiv b'zman hazeh, it emerges that the parish of Bnei Noach b'Milah is Parashas Lech Lecha, and the parish of Yisrael is from B'yom Mishini Mor B'Sar Lotz, which is Parashas Tazria. And the Rambam doesn't hold this way. The Rambam in the Sefer HaMitzvahs in Esen Reish Tezvav writes that it's a mitzvah essay of Yisrael from Parashas Lech Lecha. According to the way we're learning now, according to the Rambam should be holding that the parish of Bnei Noach is Lech Lecha and the parish of Yisrael is Parashas Tazria. But the Rambam doesn't say that. The Rambam in the Sefer HaMitzvahs says that the mitzvah essay for Yisrael is from where? The mitzvah essay for Yisrael is from Parashas Lech Lecha. And all the drushes in the Gemara and Sechet Shabbos, Perek Rebbe Lezer de Milah, and in Yavamis and Perek Ha'aral are from Parashas Lech Lecha. But this parish is a Ben Noach Dika Parsha. And very, very famous what the Rambam says in his Perish Mishnayos Techulin, that you can learn Dinei Yisrael from the tzivui of Bnei Noach. We're only chayiv because we were told it's Sinai. So why does the Rambam bring the pasuk of Parashas Lech Lecha, the Ben Noach pasuk, when it would have been much better for him, l'shitaso, to bring the pasuk of Parashas Tazria, which is the Bnei Yisrael pasuk? Now the Gemara asks the kasha. The Gemara's kasha is Elamayata Bnei Keturah lo lechayvu. According to what you're saying, that you're telling me that in the Lishna Basra that it was given only to the seed of Avram through Yitzchak and through Yaakov. So therefore Bnei Keturah shouldn't be chayav. And who's this talking about? L'shitas HaRambam. It's talking about Zera Bnei Keturah. It's talking about the seed of Bnei Keturah for all the generations. And not like Das Rashi and Dibur HaMaschil Bnei Keturah, that it's talking only about the Bnei Keturah themselves. Then we have another kasha like the Yad Ramah asks, and also the Shagas Aryeh. What's the pshitus that they are chayav? According to the Rambam, that it's talking about Zera B'nei Keturah. Who says, now we're asking on the Rambam, who says that they are chayav? Who says that they are chayav? Maybe they're not chayav. The Gemara says that it's so simple. The Gemara understands that it's so simple that Bnei Keturah are chayiv. Who says Bnei Keturah are chayiv? Rashi says on Bnei Keturah, Osan Shisha Shenodu Lavram, Hein Atzman Lo L'chayvu, Bnei Mahashta Delo Mol Avram, Kol Banav Shaylo B'chayiv. According to Rashi, the Gemara's kasha is that maybe Tak Avram didn't circumcise the Bnei Keturah, his children. That's the kasha according to Rashi. But according to the Rambam, the kasha is different. Rashi just says, maybe Bnei Keturah weren't chayiv, and he didn't circumcise his children, his Bnei Keturah children. According to the Rambam, that it's Ladoros, the Gemara is saying what they shouldn't be chayiv because they are chayiv. The Rambam's understanding they are chayiv. How does the Rambam know the Bnei Keturah are chayiv? What's the pshitas of the Rambam that Bnei Keturah are chayiv? The Gemara is a kasha on this. And if the Gemara is assuming that we're memayet, because it says ki bi Yitzchak yikar l'chazara, and not Bnei Keturah, so they're pater. Shalom al Yisrael. So what's the kasha? Why are they chayiv? Lo l'chayiv, they shouldn't be chayiv. Mash, they are chayiv. And maybe they're pater. And we also have to understand, like the Shagas Aryeh asked, that just like according to the Lishna Kama, since it wasn't repeated at Sinai, the Bnei Keturah are not chayiv. So the Gemara doesn't ask according to the Lishna Kama, let the Bnei Keturah be chayiv, because there's no reason Bnei Keturah should be chayiv, because it wasn't repeated at Sinai. So they're taka pater. It's assuming according to Lishna Basra that they're chayiv. But according to Lishna Kama, we're not bothered because they are pater. Why are they pater? Because it was lo nishnes. It wasn't repeated. They don't ask about the Bnei Keturah, that they shouldn't be chayiv, they should be pater, because they taka hold the Lishna Kama holds their pater because it wasn't repeated at Sinai. So why then, if the Lishna Basra is it? Yes, shver. Also, according to Lishna Basra, it wasn't repeated at Sinai, and they weren't chayiv. The Tosas Rosh and the Maharsha, they write that the kash of the Gemara is that we see Bizman Hazeh Milas Yishmaelim. Why are the Yishmaelim doing bris Milah? Maybe Maisa was saying Bidayim. So maybe Yishmaelim were chayiv. That's the kash of the Gemara. The Bnei Keturah mixed in with the Bnei Yishmaelim. Therefore, the reason the Yishmaelim are doing it is because the Bnei Keturah, that I understand that's the kash. The Bnei Yishmael are doing it because some of them are Bnei Keturah, and they're doing bris Milah. It must be Ma'asev V'Seim B'Dayim, and if it's Ma'asev V'Seim B'Dayim, it means they're chayiv. So the Gemara's question is predicated on that they're doing bris Milah. But if that's true, then it should be shver in the Lishna Kama also. Why are we only asking in the Lishna Basra Bnei Keturah lo l'chayvu, that the Bnei Keturah are chayiv? They shouldn't be. We should ask the same thing in Lishna Kama. If it's because of Ma'asev V'Seim B'Dayim, the same kasha would apply to Lishna Kama. And we don't ask it in Lishna Kama. We only ask it in Lishna Basra. We also have to understand the teretz of the Gemara. The teretz of the Gemara is you know why Bnei Keturah are chayiv? Because it's brisei hefar. The rabbis Bnei Keturah. So mehechi teisi Bnei Keturah, not Bnei Yishmael. Where do you get from his brisei hefar? The rabbis Bnei Keturah, not Bnei Yishmael. So the Shagas Aryeh wants to say Miloshen Rambam v'Halacha Ches, that the pasuk of Ki B'Yitzchak is mayit only those who were there when this was said. Who was there when this was said? Ki B'Yitzchak, Yishmael. So Melachim Yishmael is being excluded, and not Bnei Keturah. So therefore, Bnei Keturah is being excluded. So that's how we know that it's Bnei Keturah who are chayiv and not Bnei Yishmael. Because Bnei Keturah are only born afterwards. That's what the Shagas Aryeh says. That's what the Mabit says in the Kiryat Sefer. But if that's true, if Ki B'Yitzchak is coming to exclude Yishmael because he's around when it was said, and not Bnei Keturah because they weren't yet around, then what do we need as brisei hefar for? You don't need its brisei hefar. All right, Bnei Yishmael would be chayiv if not for the miyut of B'Yitzchak. And the miyut doesn't apply to Bnei Keturah. So Bnei Keturah should be chayiv even without this brisei hefar. Even without this extra pasuk, they should be chayiv. Because you don't need a special ribu to be the rabbis Bnei Keturah. Because Bnei Yishmael would also be chayiv if not for the special exclusion. If the exclusion only applies to Bnei Yishmael, that means without the exclusion they'd be chayiv. And the exclusion doesn't apply to Bnei Keturah, so Bnei Keturah should be chayiv. So the Shagas Aryeh was nitchak to answer this kasha. Another kasha, that if Bnei Keturah are included in Zera Avram, because we're only memayet Yishmael, right? That Ki B'Yitzchak is memayet, we're memayet Yishmael, and we're memayet Bnei Esav. But if you want to say that Yitzchak is only Memayit Yishmael who was around at the time, but not Bnei Keturah, then we have another problem. How do we learn in the Gemara Nedarim and the Lamed Aleph, that if somebody is Noder Mizera Avram, he's only Aser to be Nana from Yisrael, because nobody else is Zera Avram ki Yitzchak. But wait a second, according to what you just told me, the only Bnei Yishmael were excluded from the Yitzchak, but not Bnei Keturah because they weren't yet born. So if that's the case, Bnei Keturah included in Zera Avram. So when one makes a neder, he's not going to be Nana Mizera Avram, it should include Bnei Keturah. And another kasha that he asked was that it says in Bikurim, Perak Aleph Mishnah Daled, that a ger can't say Mikra Bikurim Asher Nasata Lavoseinu. And in the Yerushalmi there it says that also Bnei Kini, the Bnei Kini also can't say Asher Nasata Lavoseinu unless they have a Jewish mother. Only if you have a Jewish mother, there's Amira B'Bikurim. Because otherwise you have no Asher Nishbata Lavoseinu. The only problem is that Bnei Kini, that's mi Bnei Keturah. Kini is mi Bnei Keturah. And therefore, that's Zera Avram. So why didn't he need him on Yisrael? To do Mikra Bikurim. If he's a Ger Kini, he should be able to say Asher Nasata Lavoseinu, because he's descended from Avram. And he wasn't excluded from Zera Avram, because he was excluded from Zera Avram. Only Yishmael, but not Bnei Keturah. According to the assumption that we were only excluding one who was around when Hashem said Ki Yitzchak Yikari Chazar, which would only exclude Yishmael but not Bnei Keturah. So they're also Zera Avram. So why do we need Imam Yisrael? Bnei Keni should also be fine because they're also descended from Bnei Keturah. So let them say Asher Nasata Lavoseinu. So Baruch Hashem b'siyata d'shmaya, this has really been a hafgazak veda, a very serious shelling of the sugya and of the Rambam and Kederkenu b'kodesh b'siyata d'shmaya. Hopefully in future shiurim we will put back all the pieces together and it's going to come out so much more beautiful than it was when we first saw it. But that is going to take A, hard work, B, siyata d'shmaya, and simchas chayim, and koach. So Kadosh Baruch Hu should give us the means to continue the shir and to really understand Pshat in the Gemara and in the Rambam and Layudi Ma'isa Arv Simcha V'Sasan. We should be zeichet to see neflos mitaras Hashem b'simcha v'tuv levav mirov kol. Shalom, shalom, sweetest and most beloved friends.